Good evening, everyone, and how are you this evening? My name is NJ Evans, and this is the evening drive home. Where have you been, guys? I've missed you. At least I believe I've missed you. Did you miss me? You see how things go? I changed the logo this evening because I wanted to really emphasize what I'm thinking on this full moon in May 2026. And I felt that the smoke and the nebulous appearance in this photograph, and this photograph has a lot of things going on in it, by the way, but this was to the point, to my point anyway. My thought is what's really going on? We have so many things that is happening in the world at this time, and we have so many people that are being inundated, impacted, and ignored, and feeling quite hopeless all at once. And what I wanted to find out from you is what is it that you see is going on? And do you have any resolutions just for your nucleus or nuclei? Do you have a remedy, a suggestion, or something that you can share with somebody else concerning what they should or should not focus on or read or listen to and things along those lines? A lot of the esoterics, they are speaking about don't watch the news, don't do this, and don't do that. And I understand, and I overstand. But I'm also saying, well, what do you do? What do you supplement in that particular area if you don't want me to do X, Y, and Z? And that brings some research online. And I think that's something that the adults, the grandparents, as well as the parents, should investigate in at this time. And yes, I do feel that you have enough time to do that. And the reason why I'm saying that to you is because there is so much being thrown at you at one time. And we're not just looking at AI, we're looking at the clarity and the deception. We're looking at who is impacted and who is not impacted. And all the different hidden truths that have now surfaced that is really saying, what's it all about, Alfie? Really, what is it all about? So I'm thinking that maybe the individual will have to take control of their particular nucleus, of nuclei, as I said before. And take control, meaning you have to control the minds and what's being fed into your mind and what's not being fed. And you just can't believe each and every person and every one. But you have to have a criteria, some type of format, some type of guidelines that you yourself have created. Now, here's my suggestion. These guidelines have to come from within inside of you. And the reason why I say that to you is because there's so many people and thoughts out there that you'll be confused if you just follow everybody. However, if you can develop a routine between yourself and your higher self and your inner self and really get involved with understanding the signs and the symbols that are in front of you. And I'm not saying anything that most Sufis wouldn't understand, that most individuals intuitively understand. There's a culture that people of color come from. All people of color come from. They have a culture where they really talk to the ancestors and they communicate and they get their guidance and directions. And I am not criticizing anybody. I'm saying that that's a good thing because that just might be what is needed at this time. Some type of guidance from those who are not in the trenches, so to speak, if you can visualize where I'm going with that. But that might be something that we really do need at this time, some guidance, because we have to be able to come back to center. We have to be able to connect to all the various different aspects of oneself. Now go online. You can listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza. You can listen to A lot of different people. He just happens to come to my mind right now because I was looking at him a few minutes ago. But everybody's talking about going within, and they're talking about the quantum leaps and all these types of things. And then you have a geophysicist, which I found to be very interesting, in the fact that he is connecting all the dots. And this is a young guy. His name is Stephen Burns. And I find him to be very interesting in that regard, and especially some of the things that he's covering, because he's doing it in such a fashion that he's really walking that little line so that he doesn't titter-totter to the right nor the left, and he is still able to stay in front of the camera with his audience, which is huge, and be able to bring as much of what he deciphers as the reality of where we are and where we're going, and what are some of the things that we should do as a spiritual force, as a from that perspective. You know, there is lots of different manners and lots of different avenues, but you have to find the one that you feel most comfortable with, that resonates with your spirit. Because I feel that everybody that is here at this particular point in time was born into this particular dimension, this particular location, wherever that is that you're standing at. I tend to go to Asia from time to time with some of my broadcasts, and which I found interesting, as well as the U.S. So I feel that wherever you're located, there's something there that you're supposed to know about or to help with, assist with. You didn't just come to act a fool. You know, you didn't come on this planet to act a fool at all. You came here because there was a mission. Mother Gaia is in dire straits. She needs the assistance of those who are on her planet to help her to elevate to the next level of her development, as we all are doing. And I'm quite sure you know about that too, because that's the other part of the news that you do hear about in some areas, and in some other areas you don't, you know. So I suggest that you learn a little bit more about yourself and see whether or not you have the ability to keep you and your family anchored, and realize who you are and whatever strengths that you might have. I don't know what that means to you, but you got to really look at it and find a way to center yourselves. And we can dive into some of that a little bit later. But in the meantime, I just wanted to speak with you for a hot second and just give kudos to some of those that I know who are out there who are really walking that particular walk. And they're connecting with their higher selves, they're connecting with their inner self, and they're beginning to do more meditations and do more time away from. And I'm going to tell you something. I am a media person, you know, but I'm saying take some time away from it for a minute and go smell the flowers and go walk along the riverbanks. Don't jump in. And also just walk in the parks and listen to the birds. And depending where you are, you might have a really beautiful climate, as opposed to some places where if you're in the desert, it might be mighty darn hot there. So find your place, your spot, and connect with yourself. Anchor with yourself. Who are you? Why are you here? Where are you going? And what are your children supposed to be doing? And protect your children. Protect each and every one of them. One of the topics that I will get into, not tonight, but soon, and it talks about why are the third graders and the seventh graders, or I should say third and fourth and seventh and eighth, or sixth and seventh, being targeted as the holding spots. If you're holding down your child in school, they will pick those two age groups. And I'm wondering why. Why those particular groups? I have my own theories. If you have an idea, write it in the comments. Let me know. Would love to hear your thoughts. But in the meantime, I thank you for giving me these few moments. You take good care of yourselves. I have been working on a couple of long projects, and I will have a link for that. And I'll let you know when. I'll have a link for those projects at the next time we have a conversation. So this photograph that I have here is one of mine, and hope you like it. And what I will say to you is this: your thoughts are real, they're strong. Remember to create the reality that you truly do desire, and not one that you don't. So you have to be in control of things. Media is very powerful. Don't lose yourself. You have yourself a good evening home. Be safe. Ciao.